Hi everyone, this video is on percent composition. Well, per means out of and cent means 100. So what you want to know is what is it out of 100? And it is the same concept as you take the quiz and you get 7 out of 10. You want to know what grade I have. So you want to know what is it out of 100. So what you do is you take the 7, you divide it by the total. So 7 is what your score is, and you divide it by the total score and you multiply it by 100. That gives you the percentage. Like if you had 7 out of 10, what would it be out of 100? So we want to understand today how do you calculate percent by mass. So what do you do for a compound like you have water? So what percent of water is hydrogen and what percent of water is oxygen? To calculate the percent mass of each element in the compound, we take the mass of the element, we take the mass of the compound, and we multiply by 100. So of course you need a couple of things. You need the mass of each element, you add them together, that gives you the mass of the compound, and you multiply by 100. So let's calculate the composition of methanol, and we will calculate the percentage of each element in this compound. So there are three elements. You have carbon, you have hydrogen, and oxygen. So there are three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. I need to see how many of each do I have. So in this compound, I have one carbon, okay, five hydrogens. I will add them together, five hydrogens and one oxygen. So now I will go to the periodic table. I will go to the periodic table and take the mass of each element from the periodic table. So this is the mass that you get from the periodic table for carbon. This is the mass you get, and you take that mass and you multiply it by 1. So 12.01, and you multiply it by 1, that gives you 12.01. The mass of hydrogen in the periodic table is 1.01. When you multiply it by 5, you get 5.05. The mass for oxygen is 16.00 in the periodic table, and you multiply it by 1, you get 16.00, and then you add them all together, and this is the mass of compound because now you have added all of them together. So you have mass of compound as well as you have mass of each element that is present in the compound. This is carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So this is your first step, that you need to find the molar mass. This mass that you just calculated, this mass of the compound that you just calculated by adding them all together is the molar mass. So your first step was to calculate the molar mass. The second step is that you take the mass of each element, divide by the molar mass, and multiply by 100. As I said earlier, to calculate the percentage, we take the mass of the element, divide by the total, times 100. So just now we had calculated the total. Now the next step is that I'm going to take the mass of each element. So carbon was 12.01. So I take 12.01 divided by the total mass times 100. To calculate the percentage of hydrogen, the mass of hydrogen was 5.05. So I take that mass of 5.05 divided by the total, the same number, multiplied by 100. And then percentage of oxygen, same thing, mass of oxygen divided by the total times 100. So this gives me the percentage of each element present in the compound. All right, percentage of each element present in the compound. These proportions will remain the same regardless of the sample size. So you have 2 grams of any compound, okay, or you have, hold on a second, what was this? You have 2 grams of any compound or you have 30 grams of the compound. The formula doesn't change. Since the formula doesn't change, the percentage doesn't change, okay? So keep it in mind that the percentage of each element is always stays the same in a particular compound. So for example, in any amount of sucrose, no matter how much you take the sucrose, you will have 42% carbon, 6.48% hydrogen, and 51.141% oxygen. So that percentage of elements in the compound will never change. I hope this helps you to understand how to calculate percent composition by mass, or you can call it percent by mass. Let me know in the class if you have any questions. Thank you.